Hey guys, I know, another video this early, who would have thought? So anyway, let me just put this here. You can see me, right? Yeah. Okay, anyway, I wanted to make a video about movies that I think deserve more recognition during this spooky season. And before I start, I wanted to first clear up that the movies I'm about to mention, I am not trying to say that they deserve more recognition than the more well-known titles, you know? I'm just trying to say that these movies deserve just as much attention, in my opinion. So, let's start. Okay, here we go. Here I have the DVD for, well, it's a double feature, but ignore this one. This is the DVD that I have for April Fool's Day. This is honestly one of my favorite slasher films, and it's not scary. It's not the scariest film. It's actually a horror comedy, but it's intentionally funny. It's not, goofy like most slashers because, they're dated. This one is actually funny because it tries to be a comedy, and in my opinion, it's one of the best slashers ever. I don't want to spoil it because, I don't want to talk about the story that much because if I do, it would be sort of a spoiler. But, just by the title, April Fool's Day, you kind of get the gist of what's going to happen. The best way to describe this film is like game night. If you've seen Game Night, then you can like sort of follow what's gonna happen in this film. What else can I say? No, nothing else other than watch it because it's really good. Like I've said a billion times. You can get this DVD. I mean, yeah, that's the only like bad thing about this. It doesn't have a Blu-ray release, and the only way you can buy it on DVD is in this double feature with My Bloody Valentine. I don't know why, but yeah, if you can buy it, buy it. It's actually really cheap. I got it for $5.99 on Amazon. Okay, what next? Here we have okay, this is gonna this is gonna get a lot of hate. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake. Give me a sec. Let me explain myself. This is actually a decent remake, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not gonna say it's better than the original. In fact, I think even the sequel is better than this one. But I still think this is the third best installment of the franchise, which is not saying much. But still, I think this film is decent, and it rarely gets mentioned because it's obviously overshadowed by the original, which I'm not saying that it shouldn't, because obviously the original is better. But I still think that this one deserves its recognition, especially during this spooky season, because it's actually scary at times. Not as scary as the first one, but still scary. And the acting is decent. Everything is well done in here. I mean, there are some moments where the writing gets iffy, but it's a slasher, what else can you expect? But yeah, this movie is actually decent. Give it a try. The Blu-ray is really cheap. If I'm not mistaken, I think I got it for $8.99. I think. I know it's cheap when I bought it, but get it if you can. Okay, what else do we have here? Almost fell out of my hand. Here I have the Call of Cthulhu DVD, or correctly pronounced Cthulhu. I'm not sure, to be honest. Yes, this is an adaptation of one of H.P. Lovecraft's short stories. It's actually one of the best adaptations, and it's fairly, well, I'm not gonna say it's good. It's fucking good. It's amazing. It's not for everyone because it's even though this was made in the early 2000s, this is a silent film, like the ones in the 1920s, 1910s and stuff like that. and it's more of a creative choice because Lovecraft's way of writing is so strange that turning it into a script where actors have to, you know, say it out loud doesn't correlate that much. So the director decided to turn it into a silent film, which I think was a great idea, and it actually complemented the story. Now, there are some moments where the film gives you a headache because the visuals look really bad, because this was in black and white, but unfortunately it was made by you know, modern cameras from the early 2000s, so it doesn't look that good and sometimes can be kind of a headache. So look out for that, but it doesn't ruin the movie. So yeah, Call of Cthulhu, watch it. Great movie. Now, here we have one of my favorite movies of all time, Christine. I know I mentioned this movie before, but it's so good. It's amazing. I love it so much. It deserves more recognition among John Carpenter fans and Stephen King fans. It's amazing. I know I'm rubbing my face with it, but I love it so much. Yeah. Watch it in the spooky season. During the spooky season. Watch it anytime, honestly, but yeah, during the spooky season, give this a try. It deserves it. It's great. It's not John Carpenter's best film, but it's right up there in my opinion. It's actually really fucking good. If you're a fan of 80s aesthetics like I am, yeah, this is one of those movies, so watch it. Okay, what else do we have here? Here we have the Arrow video for Blood Rage. Now, if you haven't seen Blood Rage, which I'm fairly sure you haven't because it's not that well known, this is essentially a low-budget slasher. A very low-budget slasher. It's not for everyone. I think this film is only for slasher fans. But still, if you are a fan of movies like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, slashers, like I've said, this movie is actually for you. Personally, I'm a fan of slashers, which is why I love this movie. It's goofy, it's dated, but the special effects are fucking amazing because it was done by the same guy that did the special effects for Terminator 2. So watch it. It's really good. Yeah, watch it. I don't know if you can buy it though, because it's actually pretty expensive because it's an Arrow Video Blu-ray. The only reason I bought it was because it was on sale. It was for $20. I know that doesn't sound like a sale, but it kind of is, because Arrow Video Blu-rays are usually minimum $40. So yeah, if you have money to spend, get it. Okay, here I have another remake. Please don't kill me. Friday the 13th, the killer cut. Listen to me. Look, please. I can already hear Friday the 13th fans in my head. This movie's actually fairly decent. I love it. It's not my favorite Friday the 13th movie. To be honest, my favorite is another black sheep in the franchise, which is Jason Takes Manhattan. I know, sorry, but still, this movie is actually well made. I mean, sometimes it's kind of funny how bad it is, but I still think it's good. It's worth watching, especially during the spooky season, in my opinion. I think this movie benefits from a watch during, Halloween. So yeah, watch it. Get the killer cut. It's actually better than the theatrical cut. So yeah, Friday the 13th is cheap. The Blu-ray is pretty cheap. I think I got it for $7. So yeah. Okay. Now here we have another remake, Night of the Living Dead. Give me a sec. Let me explain. This is actually the only good remake. The only good George Romero remake. It's not better than the original, obviously. but it's still very good. It was directed by Tom Savini, which is the guy who did the special effects, the gore and all that stuff for the Dawn of the Dead, the original one, and Day of the Dead also. And yeah, he decided to direct the remake of this film in the 90s. It's actually really good. I rarely hear people talk about this movie, which is strange because I hear people talk more about Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead for some reason. I mean, even though I'm a fan of Zack Snyder, I still think his Dawn of the Dead remake is not that good. But this one is amazing and is the best remake of all of the Romero remakes. I mean, that's not saying much, but still, this movie's decent. It changes a few things, but also keeps things, the same. I would say the biggest change this has, I'm not gonna, spoil it, but it changes certain characters that benefit from that change. If you're a Night of the Living Dead fan, you kind of know who I'm talking about. So yeah, watch this film, get it on Blu-ray. It's amazing. It's not cheap, but I think it's still worth it. I think this costed me $20-something, but get it if you can. It's really good. Okay, here I have All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. This movie's amazing. It features one of Amber Heard's best performances. It doesn't look like it at first. When you first watch this film, you kind of think that, wow, this is actually really bad. But then when you get to the end, you kind of change your opinion, and then it makes you watch it all over again so you can see some things that you might have missed. So yeah, this is one of those horrors that actually benefits from multiple watches. And like I said, Amber Heard's one of her best performances. So yeah, All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. Get the Blu-ray, really cheap also. I think it was like 10 or 11 bucks. I got this. Oh, and I got it from Amazon. Yeah. So okay, what's next? Here we have Chopping Mall. You heard me right, Chopping Mall, not shopping mall. Chopping, like chop chop. The fuck? Yeah, Chopping Mall. This movie is not good. It's bad. It's really bad. But it's still entertaining. It's like The Room. To me, this is like the Room of horror films. It's so bad, but it's so good. Like you get so much entertainment from how badly this was made. But also, the only competent thing they did in this movie was the soundtrack. It has an amazing soundtrack, actually. If you're a fan of 80s synth music and all that stuff, yeah, this movie is for you. And it's one of the reasons why I love it. Yeah, that's it. Unfortunately, when I bought it, it was kind of expensive. I got it for $30 because this is the what is this here? The Vestron Video Collector's Edition. Yeah, I had money to spend at that moment, so I bought it. Kind of regret it because it's not worth $30, but I still love the movie. If you can find it fairly cheap, buy it because it's really good. Well, it's not good. It's bad, but it's entertainingly bad. Trust me. It's right up there with Tommy Wiseau, You're lying, I never hit you. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Okay, what do we have here? Reanimator. Now, Reanimator is actually a great film. It has some misses with its performances and some of the technical stuff, but it's mostly a good film. It's another H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, but I would say it's loosely based on his stories. But it's still a great film. I got it on sale for $20. Again, it's an Arrow Video movie, so $20 is actually cheap for this. And yeah. Oh, this movie's not for the faint of heart, in my opinion, because not only is it very gory and very creepy and scary at times, it also features some very heavy things involving sexual assault. So look out for that. If that's not your cup of tea, then I mean, it's not my cup of tea. Obviously, I didn't expect it, but yeah, it features that. It's kind of intense, but it's still a good movie. Watch it. Last but not least, here we have one of my favorite slashers of all time, Final Exam. This movie is amazing. It's one of my favorite slashers of all time, but it's not that well known, unfortunately. I had to kind of the reason I've even heard of this film was because a YouTuber that I like called Good Bad Flicks, shout out to him, video in the description below. The movie, the only reason I've heard of it is because he does this explore series where he talks about the behind the scenes of the movies that he likes. So yeah, I watched that video, found out about it, and I instantly fell in love with it before even watching it. And when I watched it, I loved it even more and became one of my favorite slashers. Honestly, it's in my opinion, it's for slasher fans also, but I think casual audiences can also watch it because it's fairly simple. It features something unprecedented in the slasher genre, which is that it gives the killer a sort of mystery surrounding him more than Michael Myers. You don't know shit about the killer, honestly, and the movie benefits from that, in my opinion. And it's not gory, and it's not that sexual either, but it's still very engaging. A bit dated at times, but what slasher isn't, to be honest. So yeah, if you get the chance, buy it. It's fairly cheap in my well, not my opinion, it's fairly cheap. When I bought it, it was $16.99, I think. And and fun fact, this film actually inspired the writer of Scream to write Scream. So if you want to know the inspiration, watch this. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's all of these are all the movies I think deserve more recognition during this spooky season. And I don't know how to end this video. Smash that like button. Smash the like button. Come on, smash it. And like and subscribe. Smash the like button. I know I said it, but still. And what else? Boo. Oh shit!